Which sinusoidal function is represented in the graph below? All right, so I'm going to write out, I have sines and cosines. I'm going to write out the basic version where you have y equals a. I'll write out trig, and trig could represent sine or cosine here because that's clearly what they want. Parentheses b to the x minus c, parentheses plus d. The first thing that you should always start out with when trying to figure out an equation is your midline. At least that's one of the first things you should figure out. Okay, where do I have a horizontal line cutting this guy in half? Well, it looks like that happens at -1. So this is going to be -1, which eliminates c. The first thing you can do now that you have your midline is find your amplitude pretty easy, and that's by going from your midline to the maximum value and seeing what the distance of that is. So 1 minus -1 gives me a distance of 2. My amplitude is 2. Now, before I cross a and b out, here's the thing. In any of these or in both of these situations, I have no horizontal translation. This guy represents a shift to the left or to the right. I don't have that in any of my options, so I'm not going to worry about C. So basically what's happening here is I'm starting right there and working my way down. Now sine, regular sine, when graphed, looks like this. This guy is the flipped version of it where it looks like that. So if this is regular sine, then this is going to be negative sine. So the answer's got to be A. Now let me make sure that I'm good. Let me make sure that I'm good and make sure that the frequency is pi. Now B stands for the frequency. Now what the frequency gets you is if you have the frequency of pi, the period is going to be 2 pi over the frequency. So in this case, my period is 2. So if I were to look at, I don't know, an obvious spot like here and go 2 spaces later, it looks like the period is 2. So everything seems to match quite nicely. Again, negative sine, period of 2, which makes a frequency of pi. It goes down 1, giving the midline of -1. So yeah, the answer is going to be A. Hope this helps.